Hey there, Koroks, how you doing? I'm your host, Alph, and I'm sorry to report that this is my last weekly upload for the foreseeable future. It was fun while it lasted, but I definitely don't have the willpower to keep it up forever, and I'd like to move on to bigger and better things. The Majora's Mask review. Regardless, before I go back to uploading at my normal rate, I'd like to do something special, hence today's video. Today we'll be counting down my top 6 favorite Nintendo Switch games, so the title is a complete lie. Look, I'm sorry, but an objective top 5 list gets way more clicks than an opinionated top 6, I can't help it. Some of these might be repeats from my top 10 favorite games of all time, but that was like 2 years ago, so who cares? No restrictions, no fluff, no padding, let's get to my top 6 favorite games for the Nintendo Switch. For the number 6 spot, I've chosen Super Mario Odyssey. I know you're all probably shocked to see this game so low on the list, and I'm a little surprised too. Before we get into its placement though, let's talk about how fantastic Odyssey is, because every game here is a 10 out of 10 in my book. Mario Odyssey is great for a ton of reasons, but I think my favorite thing about it is that it's a return to form for 3D Mario. You've all heard this a million times, but Super Mario Odyssey was the first sandbox Mario game in 15 years, and it's the most exploration-y of them all. There are, let me check my notes here, 50 million moons to collect in Super Mario Odyssey. Many people complain about how many of the moons are worthless, low-effort garbage, but I don't care at all. What Odyssey lacks in substantial, well-designed, cutting-edge content, it makes up for with pure fun. To me, it doesn't matter how little effort it takes to get a moon because it's just so darn fun to do stuff in this game. Exploring the worlds is so rewarding and interesting, and the movement, oh, don't even get me started on the movement. I've talked about this a few times before, but Super Mario Odyssey is the best controlling game ever in my opinion. Mario moves around like usual and has just as many traditional moves as ever, but Cappy is what really kicks things into high gear. The ability to throw and bounce off of Mario's hat is a genius concept, and it single-handedly gives Super Mario Odyssey my favorite controls in any video game. The new mechanics definitely take some time to master, but once you do, the experience is unmatched. You chain jumps, throws, and bounces all over the place, flying around stages and across huge gaps like a maniac. On top of that, you can also use Cappy to possess some enemies in Mario Odyssey, which is just icing on the cake. I could talk for hours about how fantastic Super Mario Odyssey is, but instead I should probably explain why it's only number 6 on my list. To be honest, I could have made this countdown in no particular order and it would have been just as accurate, but I didn't, so why is Mario Odyssey so low? There isn't a super good reason, but I've just sort of lost whatever connection I had with Super Mario Odyssey in recent months. Of course, I still think the game is phenomenal, and I love it, but it doesn't mean all that much to me when I think back on it nowadays. I loved playing it, I was super hyped for its launch, I played it for over 100 hours after I got it, and now I'm just kinda done. Every once in a while, I like to boot it back up and do some cap jumps, but that's about it. Again though, that's not a criticism, I still love the game and all, that's just why it's only my 6th favorite Nintendo Switch game at the time of this recording. Anyway, on to number 5. My current 5th favorite Switch game is Stardew Valley. I wasn't sure if non-exclusive games should be counted for this list, but I can do whatever I want, so here we are. I played Stardew Valley on the Switch, which makes it my 5th favorite Switch game. Now this may surprise you, but I'm actually one of the 3 people on Earth who has never played Animal Crossing New Horizons, or really any Animal Crossing game for that matter. I don't know why that is, because Stardew Valley is one of the best games I've ever played. I've said before that I love open, sandbox-type experiences more than any other game, and I think that's because they provide such an effective escape from reality. Life can be kinda trash sometimes, so being able to pretend I'm in a quiet little village and tending to my farm is an incredible experience. It's very calming, yet Stardew Valley is still one of the most engaging, addictive games ever. You start with so little money and so many goals, but it never feels overwhelming. Even though you start out super far from being the millionaire truffle refiner of your dreams, that's not your main focus. You're trying to become as rich and successful as possible, but that's not some huge, daunting goal to focus on. In the moment, you're focused on the task at hand. You're waiting a few days for the next harvest, you're gathering wood to build a new structure, you're doing whatever sounds the most fun and effective in the moment. I'd love to make a full video about Stardew Valley someday, but I think I'll stop myself here for now. If you've never played it, go buy Stardew Valley. It's a fantastic experience and my 5th favorite on the Nintendo Switch. Number 4 on this list is a pretty major oddball as far as opinions go, but I picked Mario & Rabbids Kingdom Battle. I know, this game isn't really all that popular and I'm not an RPG guy, but I love Mario & Rabbids. First of all, it's just such a unique game. It's got the main Mario guys, of course, but adding the Rabbid characters makes it so much more memorable. Everywhere you go, you'll see Rabbids hanging out and being weird and funny, which makes the game super charming. The game also looks very nice in general, with some really cool looking locations to visit. Beyond all that, I love the gameplay in Mario & Rabbids. You traverse the world by solving puzzles and collecting treasure, which is fine, I guess, but that's not the real gameplay. Mario & Rabbids is a cool turn-based, tactical something or other, and it's a blast. Each match is essentially a board game, but it's a really interesting board game because of all the cool strategies and weapons you can use. You plan out how you'll move each character to cover as much ground as possible, you account for what cover your enemy is using and what cover you want to use yourself, you decide which type of attack to use and when. It's just super engaging to me. Maybe it's not for everyone, and I'll probably regret putting it above Stardew Valley and Mario Stinkin' Odyssey after I write this script, but I don't care. I love the gameplay here, and that's that. Also, yes, I know, Fire Emblem Three Houses is similar. I'm not gonna play it, you can stop asking. Like I'm gonna support your anime propaganda. Back on topic, Mario & Rabbids. It's my 4th favorite Switch game as of this exact second, and I really hope those rumors for a sequel are true. On to number 3. Man, if I had a nickel for every time Pikmin 3 was placed as number 3 on one of my favorite game lists, I'd have 2 nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. Anyway, Pikmin 3 Deluxe is the definitive version of Pikmin 3 for so many reasons. It comes with all the DLC included, it has that awesome new charge feature with the X button, it has multiple difficulty modes, this game has it all. Most importantly, it's Pikmin 3, one of the best games ever, and it's right here on the Switch. And what can I say about Pikmin 3 that I haven't already? I mention it in just about every video, so go watch something else if you want to hear me gush about it for any longer than this. No need to delay, let's move on to number 2. My second favorite Switch game is Splatoon 2. While making this list, I tried to balance my current feelings of each game with how much I loved them historically, and Splatoon 2 definitely leans more to the I used to be obsessed with it side of things. I haven't played the game regularly in over a year at this point, so I only put it this high on the list because of the 235 hours of awesome memories I have. That's not at all a criticism of the game though, because Splatoon 2 is fantastic. It's visually and thematically beautiful, it has tons of awesome modes to play in, but like I've said several times in the past, it has a killer concept at its core. Shooting ink to achieve the game's goals is an absolutely genius stroke of game design, and I feel like people in the gaming world never appreciate that fact enough. Covering the map itself with your projectile and increasing your entire team's mobility by doing so translates perfectly across every game mode. It provides such a rich, complex experience, one that was interesting enough to make it my most played competitive online game by far. Again though, I've talked about Splatoon 2's genius in multiple previous videos, so I'll stop myself here. Splatoon 2 specifically was easily the best version of this gameplay thanks to all its new modes and weapon types, but I guess I have too much content because I've also made a video about that already. Goodness, I'll stop it with the plugs now. Just know that Splatoon 2 is a fantastic game and my second favorite on the Nintendo Switch. With all the games I've talked about already, I don't think my number 1 pick will surprise anyone. My favorite Nintendo Switch game is Breath of the Wild, and I honestly have no idea what to say here. Plenty of massive YouTubers have made multi-hour reviews of Breath of the Wild, so how could I possibly explain what the game means to me in just a couple of minutes? I'm currently playing and reviewing every 3D Zelda game in order, so I'll get my chance for a full breakdown eventually, but right now I suppose I should talk about the more personal side of things. I was a budding Nintendo fan when the Switch came out, and I was so excited to play the new system. I wasn't a huge Zelda fan at the time either, I just really wanted to play anything I could on that awesome little dog controller. When I played Breath of the Wild though, the experience was pure magic. I haven't played much of it in a while, but for the first few weeks after the Switch came out, I was Breath of the Wild. The only thing I ever wanted to think about or do was play Breath of the Wild. Discovering everything in Breath of the Wild's massive world for the first time might just be my favorite gaming memory ever. I don't think it's possible to pinpoint exactly what made the experience so magical to me, but it must have been something. The shrines, the Koroks, the divine beasts, the freedom, it was incredible. I don't know how Nintendo managed to pack such a huge world with so much incredible stuff to do, but they totally did it, and it's pretty awesome. Again, I'm not gonna fully break down Breath of the Wild until I'm forced to do so for content a few months from now, but it's just great. This list is by no means permanent, but right now, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is my favorite Nintendo Switch game. Thanks for watching, everyone. Those are my top 5 favorite Nintendo Switch games, but I'd love to hear what yours are down in the comments below. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and have a great day.